Podcast Kollective presents Episode 5, featuring Springboard Lily and Slade Capades. The first segment, Twin Flames.
La 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 la. Springboard Lily.
We mentioned last time something in regards. I'm even afraid to say it out loud now.
Okay.
This is going to be our topic. Okay, no.
Just breathe.
Okay.
Okay.
Twin flames.
Or some people call them soul counterparts. The online definition is you're really one soul, but at some point you split into two. But you're part of the same energy. There's no other frequency that's completely aligned with yours, but this person shares that exact same energetic frequency. There's this energetic pull towards one another that they probably don't even understand.
Like we mentioned in the last segment, that we had these documentaries that discuss twin flame, and I think the main reason why we were so upset is because we've had twin flame experiences and it was nothing at all
what they described
it to be, what one should do, what one should experience,
and what one shouldn't do. This is not necessarily a pretty experience to have, right? Like, you actually have to be fairly thick-skinned, I would say, to have this experience. So we're not trying to glorify it or do anything. We just want to share our experience.
Right.
And I think one of the things that really pissed me off, I'm not convinced they were twin flames.
Me neither.
They acted like they were each other's twin flames. And the minute the group leader, whatever his name is, came on the screen, something felt super off. And then he said he had his twin flame with him, which was the female on the show, like his better half. Didn't feel like a twin flame relationship. It felt like brother and sister vibes.
Yeah.
It felt kind of like I say this and then you say this, and we just tell people what they need to hear kind of a situation versus what is actually out there. Most websites share the same information. They just decided to do it completely differently, as if by doing it differently it means that's the answer.
That's the quote-unquote right way.
So why does the internet say one thing, but then you guys say something completely different? Mm-hmm. It's because they wanted to offer you quick fix. They wanted you to meet your twin flame and to be with your twin flame, where the internet and most of the stuff you find says not everyone gets to be with their twin flame, and it's a kind of a brutal journey at times. Why don't we talk about when you and I had a conversation about this without actually trying to have a conversation about it?
I had just parked the car. You probably called in regards to something pertaining to work. You must have said something in regards to relationships. You were talking about an ex and your feelings about this and how it's been a while and da-da-da. And I said, are you talking about a twin flame?
My jaw dropped. I was like, oh my God. I didn't want to say that word, but she pulled it out of me anyways. My relationship with you after that.
Oh, it shifted.
It shifted big time. I think we developed a trust very quickly after that.
I couldn't talk to anyone about this. Well, first of all, I had reached a point where I had saturated my friends.
They didn't want to hear about your woes.
They didn't want to hear anymore.
They were like, oh my God, you knew this dude for 2.5 seconds. Get over it.
I'm trying. I am trying really, really, really hard to get over this person. But I can't.
What is this?
What is this?
This is different.
Completely different. And so that's when we were in the car for like an hour. I don't know how long. We were there forever.
It felt so good to get it out.
Like we had a release of just like everything that we were feeling that we couldn't share with other people. And then I knew that the relationship was going to be different. I met him on a trip in Europe, in Spain, in Barcelona, during a girls' trip. And we just happened to be at this cafe on the beach. It was a stag party, which is like the Brit version of a bachelor party. Yeah. We got to talking and we had to catch our plane. Literally, we had 3 hours to get to the airport. We said our goodbyes. We're walking away. And my friend was like, that guy is really into you. You need to get his number. No, I'm not getting his number. And in my mind, I said, okay, universe, if this is the guy for me, he'll ask for my number.
I directed the universe towards it too, so go ahead.
We're walking away, and my friend's like, look behind you. And I look behind me, and I'm like, he asks for my number. And I'm like, oh my God, holy shit. Okay, the universe gave me an answer, and it was confirmation.
Yeah.
I gave him my number.
I forgot about this. You helped remind me that this was also, in a way, like me putting it out there and getting this relationship. I never said the word twin flame. I didn't even know that word existed.
No, we weren't looking for a twin flame.
Yeah.
I was just looking to be with someone.
I was dating, all right? Like, I had just gone through a really shitty relationship. Like, probably the biggest life lesson of my life. I was like, you know what? Let's just go online. Let's see what else is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then I dated one guy, and I remember I was like, feels like there's really no chemistry. I remember putting it out there. I'm like, universe, I want someone who's just like me. I remember those specific words. And then I met this guy, and I didn't think he was just like me at all, actually. I thought we were like the polar opposites of the spectrum.
That is true. Polar opposites. I mean, first of all, we lived in 2 different continents. Mm-hmm. 2 different cultures, and technically you could say 2 different languages because I speak Spanish. I'm of Latin heritage. He is not. So just different.
How is this person just like me?
Yeah.
The universe knows more than you know. And especially at that time, I wasn't even in this place of like manifesting. This was very early on in my life. I didn't even know this power.
Meditation and manifestation were words that were not part of my vocabulary as they are now.
Me neither. I guess you can talk about like just making a wish. That's really all it was for me. Mm-hmm. I just made a wish. Mm-hmm. I said specifically, I want someone just like me. And this person fucking hit me like a bolt of lightning. And I was like, what? Polar opposites, though, the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, like he was very creative, you know, and here I was, like, I had, like, a production job of running around and managing people.
Schedule.
Then I met this person who shares his feelings, talks about his emotions, and I don't. I'm closed off. I'm like, what is this?
Well, wait, hold on. So let me interrupt. Okay, because we were saying how we didn't know what twin flame was. We weren't looking for a twin flame.
We weren't.
Nothing like that. Mm-mm. How did you find out about twin flame?
I had a couple of friends who were kind of into esoteric stuff at the time. And one of my friends had a spiritual card deck. Mm-hmm. So she gave me the card deck, and I just remember messing around with that deck and then specifically asking about him, saying, is this a soulmate relationship? And a card flew out, and it was a twin flame card. And that made sense to me because it did not feel like a soulmate relationship. Because this person had a pull on me, like an invisible tether, where they occupied all of me. This person occupied my soul. I think that's the best way to put it. It is not a soulmate. It's completely different. I've had soulmates that I could easily leave.
And we tried to leave. Like, I tried to stop thinking.
And by the way, both of our relationships were fairly quickly. Mine was like 6 months.
Mine was 3.
We couldn't get over these human beings.
No.
Time passes and you still can't get over this person. They still occupy a part of you. It's literally they're in your soul. Like, you can't remove them. It'd be like removing an appendage.
There's this missing of it.
Yeah. You're still complete without them.
Yeah.
But once you have them and you experience it, it's almost like discovering something you never knew you needed. They both just ended. You know, it's part of our life's journey.
Oh, wait, but let me say how I found out.
Okay.
Because like we were saying, we twin flame, I don't have no idea what that is. So like all women, and I'm driving everyone crazy talking about this person after even a year gone by. And I went to a psychic because I needed answers.
You needed an answer.
And she's a love expert. And I was like, that's who I need to see. So I went ahead and went in and started doing the card reading. I mentioned, I met this really great guy. Lo and behold, she's like, oh, that's your twin flame. What? I don't know what a twin flame is.
There wasn't too much information on the internet regarding what twin flames were. For me, like 2011.
For me, it was 2013.
Like now the internet's saturated with this information. Right. But imagine a world where there's like maybe one or two websites.
I mean, we're talking 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? I will say that it kind of relieved me in a sense that like, oh, okay, so this is something.
This is different. I'm not going crazy. It made me lose control. Right? It's a good way to put it. Being someone who's measured and controlling and like, I know, again, I'm aware of myself. And I just remembered that sense of like, I can't control how I'm feeling. I can't control my thoughts. Like, what is this thing? And I'm completely happy and I never want this to end, but then it ends and you feel depressed. I think depressed is a good word.
I would say depressed. I was depressed.
Yeah. It is the kind of depression where it doesn't make sense for you to be depressed.
You've lost that person that you were before meeting them, and now you're this new person. And you've lost the old person, and you can't get back to that old person.
Yeah. I can't be the Myna that I was before my twin flame. I just remember my twin flame and the person that I am now, which is without him. I think the internet got it right. When you're in it, you are kind of pushing and pulling away from each other. You're almost not ready at the same time. He was really into me right away. It took me a couple of dates, but then I really got into him. Mm-hmm. It was almost like finding the person that you really want to be with, but almost at the wrong time in your life.
The timing was off.
Boy, was it off.
Oh my God, yes.
Like, I didn't even know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. It was almost like putting this person on a pedestal because you have found something so kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Even though your life could be miserable, you had this to go back to. And I think that's the thing this relationship teaches you. You can't put all your eggs in this relationship. This is beautiful and it's wonderful, but what do you want your life to look like outside of this relationship? That was the greatest gift because it got me kind of thinking about those things. It did. It helped me go into the darkest parts of myself. It was brutal. I mean, depression, people, that kind of depression where you can't leave your house.
I still didn't understand it, and I went about it the wrong way. I thought that the solution to fix this was to ask the psychic, okay, what do I do to get him back? So she would give me, I guess you could say rituals, right? To perform. Some of them were funny and some of them were like, you've got to be kidding me.
Any ritual you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's one where I had to masturbate every single day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had to masturbate every single day and think of some balloons that I'm holding them and think of him receiving those balloons.
Okay.
And you know what? I was
Crazy.
So desperate to be with him that I did it.
Total chaser energy.
Of course, it was the wrong approach. That's not how it works. And that's not how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to do a ritual and then you get your twin flame back. No, that's not the purpose of a twin flame.
What would you say is the purpose of this relationship, like at its core?
Well, what you were talking about in regards to give the attention to you and your needs.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a way to address the little things that maybe you've been avoiding in your life, the relationships that you need to move away from, the people that in your life who drain you. It really focuses you on you. It's like a master course on self-evaluation.
It's interesting that you say that, because as you're speaking, I'm actually having an aha moment in the sense of when we were hanging out, and I say hanging out because I had to cross the pond here to create moments together. I shared things about my relationship with my father that I have never shared with anyone. And I shared it with him. I felt so comfortable sharing that with him. However, now in hindsight, I see that, that came up because not of this closeness that I have with this person, but as Janet, you need to work on this
relationship
that you have with, or I don't have with my father. And then he expressed his relationship with his father.
It might be something he needs
which
to
was
work
very similar, which was very interesting. It was very similar. I was like, oh, this brings us closer together. I'm like, now I'm thinking, no, this was actually something that I need to work on and that I'm currently still working on. And that's from 2013, just to give you an idea of how long things can take. And then the other thing too is I had a few moments of behaving badly with him. And he was the one that was like, yeah, so last night, you said a few things. And that was his way of saying like, hey, let's have a discussion. Let's talk about this.
Sure.
But at that time I was like, what do you mean? Nothing happened. I was drunk. Oh my God, no way. We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I realized that is how I handle a situation. I don't want to talk about it.
You avoid it, right? Most people avoid conflict like the plague. But you can't heal a relationship if you don't address the problem. It's almost as if they're in a different state emotionally than you are.
Mm-hmm.
We were more closed off and our twin flames were a bit more open.
Yes.
They kind of wanted to push us to open up, but we weren't ready.
No.
I'm that person too. You don't push me if I'm not ready, lashing out.
That's the purpose of a twin flame.
Propel your personal growth. Really.
Exactly.
All this time later, I want nothing but good things for him. If I met this person today, I would just tell him, you changed my life. By you having the guts to break up with me, you gave me everything.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, you can't force anybody. You can look at that as even a typical relationship. You can't force someone to be with you.
No.
Especially if that person isn't ready to be with you. You need to also respect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Self-respect. No one likes desperate energy.
Especially when you send like 5 or 6 emails with no response.
And still hoping, well, maybe
this one.
Yeah.
Maybe this one.
Maybe this one.
No. It's going to be this one.
Yeah. If you were him and you felt this crazy desperate energy coming on, would you be allured by it? Or would you be like, no, get the fuck away from me?
We have our friend who we've shared our twin feelings.
Yes, we have this too.
Twin feelings. Our twin flame experiences. We say like, do you really want to find your twin flame? Do you really want to have this experience?
Yeah.
You do, but then you don't.
This forces you to deal with everything you've been running away from. I think that's the brutality of it.
There's no going back.
There is no going back.
Because like right now, we're doing the work. We don't know if we're going to end up with our twin flame or not. And that's something that you have to accept and you have to put to the side, right? Yeah.
Because it's not the main purpose of your life.
Exactly. You're not doing the work because it's going to give you the prize of ending up with this twin flame.
Exactly. Yeah, I would say, okay, let's talk about what we'd want people to leave with.
When it comes to twin flames, it's all about you and it's not about them. I think I'm still learning, and that's why I'm not able to give you a direct answer right now.
That's okay. Good to be where you're at, right? That's the part of all of this. Yeah, where you're at right now. And you're not ready to give that answer. I'm different. I look at life through the lens of hope and love. This was true love for me, but true love, not in a fairy tale way.
Mm-mm.
That's what I'm saying. I think our society has given us this definition of true love of like a Prince Charming coming to rescue you, fixing all your problems. No, this was my journey to truly love myself.
I wonder, maybe twin flames are untraditional.
Yeah.
And that's why
we gravitated towards them. We did. It's true. We were like, soulmates? What else you got? Well, that's us.
Yeah.
And that's the end of this.
Yes.
And I think the one thing I want to leave people with is, you know what? It's okay to be brave. Do something that your heart is telling you to do, even if you're scared. Because you never know who you can affect.
Or meet.
That's right.
The next segment is Love Blind. Hey, Jay. Hey, Chris. We getting ready to do this thing here.
Hey, hi.
I'm Dayna.
I'm Shanti.
And together,
Oh, Lord. The cheesy part. We're the Slade Capades.
oh my goodness.
Well, I think we do that more to entertain ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
It cracks us up.
All the time. All the time.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now, baby, go on and introduce our topic for today.
Is love blind?
Is love blind? And when we thought about this particular topic, we were at the time, I think, watching Netflix's Love is Blind. That's not what this is about.
No.
We really are exploring, is love blind or not, with this question. We have no commentary on the series. Okay, no commentary on the series. Then, babe, I'll ask you then, what do you think? Is love blind?
You know, I think about this, I go back and forth because I think that in some instances, we choose the energy of love to blind us from certain things. I don't know if love is blind or if we choose to use it as a vehicle to make things blind. I think that love itself, the energy of love to me is luminous. Okay. But I think that we use the energy of love like it's disguised as love being blind, but it's really maybe fear sometimes of not seeing the things that we know that we should be seeing.
So you believe that the energy of love is light?
That it brings up how we talk about, babe. You know, there's a lot of things that we've gone through in our life we didn't see. But being in a relationship where the energy of love is very present, it illuminates all of those things about ourselves that we may not have wanted to see. Love, like love bringing things to the surface and shedding light on things that need healthy attention.
Interesting. I can definitely see how that would be the case, especially when looking at some pretty intense, deep type of things done with and through love, then you're gonna find the answer, or at least be led in a way that, you know, one can feel like they're on the right path, perhaps. I remember when I first saw you. Oh my gosh. I first saw you. All right, y'all, we've been together for 13 years. Been married for 7. When I first saw Shanti, it was on Facebook. And we were in a group together. And one of her things, I don't know if I'm sure you remember this, babe, but one of her things was, love is an action verb. It was like
an action word. Love is an action word.
Love is an action word. Where was that? It was always.
I always put it on the end of everything.
Everything that you posted said
love is an action word.
And I was like, who do we have here? Call at your girl. Like, I was like, ooh, that is definitely something to feel about there. Love is an action word. It was one of the things amongst many that attracted me
to you, babe.
You make me blush.
And you always capitalize love, and I always capitalize love too.
Always, always. Love is an action word. As you were saying that, it's like I truly believe that love is the expression of balance. It's not just action. Before I was like, it's like love is an action word. Like you do. The action of love being expressed. Like, how do you love me? You show me through action. You love me is how I saw that. You have a love for your community. You have a love for whatever it is. It's movement in action. But just as much as it can be expressed in that way, it can be expressed in the gentle beingness. Love embodies the expression in many different ways of light. When I think of love, I don't think of anything other than that really good, juicy feeling, gentleness and peace and joy and laughter and connection and all of those kinds of things. But in the beingness is where you actually feel the energy of love, where sometimes we could get so caught up in the action of trying to find the best way to express it.
Yeah, when I think of love, this is important to determine if love is blind. We really need to understand from what perspective we're looking at love from. When I think of love, I think of it defined in 3 ways.
Mm-hmm.
I think of agape love, which is this unconditional love, God consciousness love, source love. And then there's the Philios love, which is like brotherly love and where the word Philadelphia comes from. And then there's this Eros love, which is like a romantic love, and which is where word erotic comes from. So I think about all these different ways in which love has been categorized. I believe that the agape love is more of a blind love because it's unconditional. Whereas the Philios and the Eros love, there's things you got to pay attention to. And so you really cannot proceed with this blindness, that there are conditions that are involved in that type of love. And that, well, I'll just kind of pause there because are there any thoughts about what I've just said?
Yeah.
Before I go on.
I never thought about it like this before until just now, like as you would say, because we've had this conversation about the 3 kinds of love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how the energy of the love of infinite spirit is considered an unconditional love, meaning like there are no conditions that can maybe stop me from loving you or this kind of thing. And that's the only place that can exist. But I think that we are expressions of this infinite energy, that it is not impossible for us to align with that love because we feel it for ourselves sometimes. That agape love that you're speaking of, where we are in alignment with our higher self or in alignment with all that is, we feel that orgasmic love within ourselves. When we are in alignment with that energy, that we can be in a relationship with that as well. I think that this agape love that you're speaking of, that we have experienced it within ourselves and within relationships, and that it's not necessarily a division of brotherly love and this kind of love. You can have a brotherly love where these brothers are in alignment with the love that they have for themselves through source, that it is easy and effortlessly expressed to each other without condition, because there's no condition, because there's complete understanding.
Well, in an ideal world. Because I have had relationships with people who I would consider brotherly love, people that I would consider family, if you will, that aren't blood family, and had to use the conditional love.
Was it conditional love, or was just the love for self that awakened you to having to set the boundaries?
I think it's both.
Okay.
Love for self is not going to allow you to tolerate things that aren't love. It's not,
Right.
it's not going to allow you to tolerate the bullshit. So now that leads us to where there's this blindness in self-love. And then there's this self-sacrificing. It's the loss of who you are and your loss of your self-worth, your loss of your self-concept, your loss of your self-esteem, and again, the loss of self-love. And then because of that, and I'm just speaking from experiences that I've had where I have lost myself and sacrificed my soul, you can think that you're having this agape love in the brotherly realm, but it could be very dangerous because of losing yourself, becoming blind to your self-love in the name of having this brotherly love.
Yes, I receive that. I get where you're coming from. In a brotherly, sisterly relationship, when I think of I'm aligned with the source of who I am, there is more of an understanding and empowerment rather than a victim. Kind of like a place where you get to maybe when you just got out of a relationship, and you're like, that motherfucker, that motherfucker, and you're in the victim space. All the things that you could be saying are true. You know what I'm saying? But in the victim space of these people, they did these things to you. But then there's this alignment that you have within yourself, this higher consciousness that allows you to be able to say, and this is one of those things where I feel that agape love is expressed, is that there's an understanding of who you were, an understanding of who you are, and being able to say, you know what? They were exactly who they needed to be. There's a deeper understanding. They needed to be who they were in order for me to experience this expansion. There is a space of love for them and will always be, because I'm seeing them through the eyes of source and not through the eyes of my own ego or my own pain. Sometimes we get to a place where we have this, I think, agape love, and that agape love doesn't need protection. Yes, you can get hurt, but that's when I think agape love has subsided and we fell into the ego.
But when it comes to man, just as I'm talking about like human, man has imperfections, man has frailties, challenges, journeys, experiences, baggages. We have all these things. I just don't feel that I can give love to somebody in the flesh in an agape situation. I really do feel like I am limited by the nature of my human existence. There are limitations, there are conditions for me and for that other person. And in recognition that humans can falter and humans can hurt, and there's all these things that can happen, that there's not this perfect unconditional love. I do feel that God lives within and source lives within me, no doubt. But I feel like the purest, most perfect, unconditional love that exists is from God. And then when it comes to man, not only am I not able to give it, but they're not able to give agape love to me. They can give me Philios love and I can give them Philios love, but I cannot give a perfect love because I am perfectly imperfect.
I understand. But when you say agape love, I don't know if I see it as an expression of a perfect love, because I think that would be kind of like a perspective of what a person would consider to be a perfect love, right? Based on how they feel that they want love to be received, right? When I think of source, when I think of all, the I am, I think of all that is, right? All that is the balance of everything. So we can be in a situation where this agape love, this unconditional love is what I'll say. It's unconditional love to someone. And because we are in alignment with source, we are able to express that without fear, vulnerability, without fear, these kinds of things. Yes, you can still get hurt and go through the things you need to go through, but I think it ebbs and flows, and you can still come back to the center and still be able to love somebody without putting the conditions on them that they need to be this way in order for you to love them.
Mm.
You know?
This is definitely a crossroads
Yeah.
for us, because I feel pretty strongly about that. I feel pretty strongly about the love of Source, the love of God, omniscient, omnipresent, all of the omnis, the all. That is where this perfect love can exist. But because of my human condition, I will make mistakes. I will hurt people that I love unintentionally, and they will do the same to me unintentionally. And sometimes there's been things that happen intentionally. And because of those things, and because we're in the process of self-actualization, and because we're in the process of evolution and evolving, this endless evolving in pursuit of our highest selves, that anything underneath that highest actualized self, which to me is not even attainable until we do become just full source energy, we've transitioned out of this dimension. But in this dimension, for me, no.
And I received that. There have been times where I have felt so aligned with this infinite energy, or what I would interpret as the feeling of love, where all fear, all filters, like walking through the park and just telling people they're beautiful souls. I'm feeling a love for nature. I'm feeling so connected. It's almost like an orgasm. You have an understanding of everything all at once. This feeling of that shoots throughout your body that it cannot be really described in words, that we can still come to that place even in this human form, even through like meditation and transcendental meditation, and people who have this deep connection with all that is, that you can still be in the human form and feel that and express that. Does it stop a person from
Being bit by a squirrel?
being, yeah, does this, right, being,
in the
okay,
park?
yeah, being bit, does it stop them from being bitten? No. However,
Or
but
robbed or whatever. Yeah.
to be able to be in that state, in that space, in that energy of just love. Remember, I told you one day I went to the park and I felt this overwhelming sense of love, where when I drove back from the park, I felt like I wanted to just kneel to my knees and kiss the ground, because I felt this overwhelming sense of love. I just felt love for everything and for everyone, and these kinds of things. And I think that it is very, very possible to obtain that feeling. And maybe the human side, the ego or triggers or trauma, things like that, can make us like maybe forget, but I think that is very possible. I feel that I've been in situations, where, I mean, you and I being in together for 13 years,
Mhm.
to me is a testimony of agape love. We've gone through so much. And even through everything that we've gone through, we still find more reasons to love each other. It's not a thing of, well, under this condition, it's a thing of, I understand this journey that we're on. I understand who you are and why we are in this space. There doesn't mean that you don't cry sometimes, or we don't get sad, or we don't get pissed off or frustrated with these kinds of things. No, but the foundation of what continues to allow us to co-create together is that agape love that we align.
Mm. She's laughing at my face, I think, because I'm trying to take it in. First of all, what you said was very beautiful, sweetheart. It's very, very beautiful, sweets.
However, entonces,
but let it be known, I got conditions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I could not grow more in love with myself and more in love with you through the evolution of our relationship, then I would be questioning if this is a relationship that I want to be in for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
And therefore, that is a condition. I might have needed to have loved you from afar if it was going to interfere with my ability to grow
Mhm.
in love more in love, more in tune, more in the remembrance of who I am. I've been in so many relationships where that growth was not happening. In fact, it was the exact opposite. And that's why those relationships are no longer in existence. And there was love there, but there were also conditions, because it wasn't like you could do no wrong. Where that's what I feel like unconditional love is like, I will love you regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I see you, I this, I that. I love all of you,
Mm-hmm.
all sides of you,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how they present and manifest themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas having had different relationships and experiences, long-term relationships, having been engaged before and all this kind of stuff, I have an understanding that love is not enough, to maintain, nurture, and sustain a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so because love is not enough, it's the other things that come into play. It's the other variables. Those are the conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because you and I are in alignment with
Right.
the expectations and the conditions and what we envision for ourselves and our marriage. And we continue to be able to grow together versus grow apart. And we're able to have compassion, grace, forgiveness, all of these things. It works out beautifully. And at 13 years, it feels fresh as we continue to go on this journey together. But if there ever, I'll say, however, if there ever was a time where that's not how we functioned, I have to be like, wait a minute now, what's, certainly I'm not just be like, I'm out. Like, it's not like that, but
Right.
there are conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have love for my past people that I was in relationship with? Yeah, I mean, I guess they'll always have a special part in my heart, but I'm like, like, this is a whole different, this is something, our love that I feel with you makes me question what I was calling love in the past. I'll say that much.
Right. So you know what? And saying all that, I guess at the end of the day, it's like what a person believes that love is, what a person believes that source is, and how source is expressed. So I guess that like love is more in an individual understanding, which kind of like inspires people to express it in a particular way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there's maybe not one way to love, because we think there's so much trickery in words when we think about love, or we say the word God, and these kinds of things. It can be very loaded for some people. It can be, the word love can be a turn off, the word God can be a turn off, these kinds of things. But I think maybe that there are many different realities created through what we believe love is. And so when we say, is love blind, people might be like, yeah, love is blind, because when your ass fall in love, you got on beer goggles. You know what I'm saying? See, oh, baby, you farted. Oh, you're so cute. The way you chew with your mouth open like a cow is oh, that's so cute. I love a woman who can chew their food like all these kinds of things. Like, love is blind in that way. Some people might be like, yeah, love is fucking blind, like the honeymoon phase. And then after that, the rose colored glasses are taken off, and love ain't blind no more. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different ways, but I do feel that love is a luminous in my own interpretation of what I believe love to be. That's what I'll say. That is exactly what I'll say, because I have been in relationships where I can say I did not love myself. Like, I did not remember who I was as this divine being that allowed certain things to happen, that I didn't love myself and these kinds of things. But I also feel in some instances that I loved so deeply because I was able to empathize so deeply, in the way that people say love is blind, like you don't see shit. That maybe, yes, I think I have experienced this different interpretations of love. But where I am right now in my life is that, yes, it is an individual expression of what you believe to be true about how you see love, feel love, think love, express it. It's an individual co-creation.
Ooh, wow. You have said a word. You have said a lot. The brain is smoking, baby. That brain is on fire. I don't even know what I want to say in response to that. I can say that while you were talking, this is very simplistic compared to what you just said, but while you were talking, I was thinking about this saying that is, before you get married, you have both your eyes open. And then once you get married, you close one eye. It doesn't say you close both eyes, but it says you close one eye. So I got that eye.
Sorry.
Got my one eye open. Or you.
Like Papa.
We could call it the third eye, the first eye. But there is an eye that is open. And as beautiful as our marriage is, I got that one eye.
Hilarious.
I got the one eye. I think you have an understanding of where I am. But I, like, for instance, when people are like, oh, I love you fearlessly. No, I can't. I'm not able to say that. Now, how about this? Can love and fear reside and take up the same space? I don't think that it can. So, okay. So I think in the last 45 seconds, I've made a statement and then I countered my own statement, because that whole I love you fearlessly, I guess I can say that I love you fearlessly because I don't believe that fear and love can take up the same space. So if I'm loving you and love you to the best of my ability with where I am right now, I can't have fear at the same time. They can't take up the same space.
Opposite energies.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
You know, the first was crazy. When you just asked that question just now about taking up the same place, and you said, what do you think? What came to my mind right away was I was watching The Twilight Zone, and there's an episode in The Twilight, one of my favorite episodes, where the guy goes to put the coin in the box to buy the newspaper, and the coin, it's like it doesn't lay flat. It's just standing up. And so the vision of the coin of heads and tails, it's the same coin, two sides. So when we're thinking about fear and love not being able to share the same space when it's the same thing, just opposite ends. It's sharing the same space. It's just what side of it is being revealed.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking, because I saw that coin like that, and I saw heads and tails. It's the same coin, but
it's not like laying on flat. It's
right.
Like,
it's not presenting one
it's
side.
more up and down. It's vertical.
You know, let's say it fell. Well, heads is up. Okay, well, heads is what's being expressed. Falls on the other side, it's tails. Oh, it's tails that's being expressed, but it's still the same coin sharing the same space.
Well, I like that. And I will allow that to change my position. That's a big one for me, because I really thought that love and fear couldn't share the same space. And even when you were talking, I was like, it's not the same. There's the front of the coin and then there's the back of the coin, and they're not in the same, they're on the same coin, but they're not sharing the same space. Okay. So, but when the coin falls, love is up, or on the other side, fear is up. And truth be told, I've had fear in the midst of love, and I've had love in the midst of fear.
It's only the expression of one thing that changes the course of the outcome.
So let's get down to it and give it like a real crystallized answer here.
I'll try.
Is love blind or nah?
I can't really give a definitive answer on that. It depends on what the person believes love is and how it should be expressed. I feel that love is luminous. It brings all of the things that need to come to the surface. Because in my eyes, love is truth. It's honesty, it's realization, actualization, it's all of these things. Love itself is blind, but I do think that we can go to the other side of the coin and think that it's love. That's turning the blind eye, but it could be fear. I don't have a definitive answer.
I think that the only love that is blind, potentially blind, but is all-seeing, how about them? Blind and all-seeing is the agape love. And that it's through the lens of these definitions where I can be like, Philios love, Eros love, not blind. I'm still going to stand on that. So, with that being said, what do you all think?
Yeah, we want to hear from you guys. Hear what you think, what you feel. We're excited to hear your feedback.
Help us out.
Yeah.
Help us out and let us know your thoughts. Is love blind? Do you think that love is blind or not? Maybe there's something that we talked about today that shifted your own perception about is love blind or about love. We want to hear from you. And how do we want to hear from them, babe?
That's a good question.
No, we say with love and light.
Oh, yes. How do we want to hear from you? I thought you meant like through telephone, through email, through...
Oh my God.
That's so funny. Yes, love and light. Would you get your finger? She's giving me finger instructions. Love and light, positive energy only. Only love and light lives here, guys. So,
peace and positive energy.
Positive energy. Always.
And babe,
my love.
I love you.
I love you too. Keep that little finger over there.
To comment with love and light, find us on Instagram and our Podcast Kollective website. The podcast is for general informational and entertainment purposes only. Opinions expressed are those of the hosts, podcasters, and guests, and do not reflect those of any employers or affiliated entities. Listener discretion is advised due to potential sensitive topics and foul language.